Today's review is on this past Saturday's episode of Henry Danger, The Beginning of the End. In the man cave, Schwoz rebuilds the Omega weapon that could take away Captain Man's superpowers and erase his memories. Schwoz did it for revenge since Ray enjoys pinching his cheeks and stealing his cereal. Henry and Ray are back wearing togas and holding turkey legs. They fought the time jerker and chased him to ancient Rome. Well, I can't really blame Schwoz for wanting to get revenge on Ray. I mean, even Ray said he thinks it's cute when Schwoz gets angry. Dude, stop messing with Schwoz, okay? Why are you going around randomly pinching his cheeks? You really think he likes that? So I really can't blame Schwoz for wanting to get revenge. And why are you taking the man's cereal? How would Ray feel if Schwoz took his cereal? It wouldn't feel good, would it? And also, if you want some of his cereal, all you had to do was ask. Ask his permission first, and I'm sure he'll gladly will let you have some of his cereal. But at this point, since you're going around stealing Schwoz's cereal, I'm sure he's like, at this point, I am not sharing cereal with me when you keep stealing my freaking cereal, Ray. Going around stealing people's cereal, that's not cool. Jasper is sleep learning as he wants to learn to fight to go on a mission with Henry and Ray before graduating from high school. Henry tells him not to worry since he, Jasper, and Charlotte won't be graduating until a year from now. It gets quiet as no one says a thing. Henry turns his head looking at his friends and Piper and says, "What?" Like he knows something is wrong. Piper suggests that Jasper should tell Henry and Charlotte agrees with her. Jasper says, "Nope, I can't. I'm too busy studying right now." Man, and it was so funny when Jasper was running back to the couch and it looked like he almost fell off the couch when he jumped and tried to lay down. Be careful you break your neck. Oh, that was so funny. Jasper was like, "Nope, I'm sorry. I can't tell my best friend. Leave me out of this. I'm not telling." You tell him. Leave me out of this. So Charlotte tells Henry since I don't think Piper had the nerve to tell her big brother. Apparently, Charlotte and Jasper are graduating, but not Henry. Henry was not pleased since he kept going, constantly, like he wanted to make sure he heard Charlotte correctly. Him going, remind me in that Remember the Crimes episode where they have flashbacks. Well, they also have flashbacks to when the characters, they act like or pretend that they didn't hear the person when they asked them a question. And then they go like, wait, what? What was that? And then they repeat what they asked them or repeat what they said before the other person said, or what'd you say? They do that a lot. I like when they do that. It's pretty funny. Apparently, Henry was skipping school to fight crime so much that he doesn't have enough credits to graduate. Piper even asked him, did he get any notice, anything in his email or whatever from the school about him, to clarify him if, that he doesn't have enough credits to graduate. Piper asked him, did he get anything? And Henry said, well, no, because I mistaken them for something else. So Henry didn't even bother looking to see what it was. Henry, when you get that type of stuff, you can't just assume that it's nothing. Okay? It could be anything. Something serious, including you not graduating from high school. So you should have checked that out. So that is pretty much Henry's fault on his part to an extent. Because it's like, dude, if you would have just looked at it and found out sooner that you don't have enough credits to graduate, you probably wouldn't be in this mess that you are now. Apparently that was Henry being lazy. I know you probably didn't want to check it out because it was probably long and you didn't want to do all the reading, but you have to check those things just to make sure. And speaking of Piper, Henry's not graduating, but she's graduating with Jasper and Charlotte. And obviously Henry is outraged. He couldn't believe it. And he asked her how is she graduating since she is his little sister. Well, due to her bad behavior, she received extra credit by going to summer school, leading her to graduate early. Okay, so that's why Piper is graduating high school early. Is it possible for a high school student to graduate early from high school by doing extra credit. Is that even possible? I mean, I guess it is. I mean, I can't blame Henry for being upset. I mean, it's like, it's bad enough he's not graduating from high school with his friends, but his own little sister is graduating before him. That's not right. Henry tells Ray about the bad news, and Ray says, oh, don't worry. You can become Captain Man once I retire. Yeah, and Ray plans to retire in the next 40 or maybe 50 years. So he assumes that Henry will be fine being Captain Man 40 years from now, once Ray retires. And Ray's like, yeah, I know I'm in good shape. Ray, you are full of yourself. Why would Ray think that Henry will enjoy being Captain Man? Okay? And who the heck wants to wait 40 freaking years to become Captain Man? That is a long time. Does he really think Henry wants to become Captain Man? Look, he already swore to an oath that he would be your sidekick, Kid Danger. That's all he was doing. All right? Do you really think he wants to become Captain Man years later? Ray is not happy with what Henry is saying. They're not seeing eye to eye. And then they have to go to the vice mayor's office. Vice mayor is not there. They don't see anybody in his office except for his stepson, Boyce, who Henry and Ray have to watch over the weekend since the vice mayor is on vacation. Charlotte and Piper are going to a seniors meeting for one night in the desert. They end up in a cave to find Jasper and two other people. Back at the man cave, Ray finds out that Henry set up a meeting with the mayor of Neighborville to fight crime. They sent him a crate. Ray already feels betrayed by Henry, so Ray opens the crate. The mayor pops out and he tells Henry that if he fought crime for Neighborville, he would get his own danger cave, he would live with cheerleaders, and get his own statue. And to the point Ray gets upset. Ray and Henry begin to argue. Henry is upset that he's not going to be able to graduate from high school, and he just had enough. You know, Henry's stuck not graduating and not being with his friends, while Charlotte is planning to run a charity in Dystopia, and she's attending Harvard, and Jasper's going to college that sounds like Harvard, and Piper's going to college in Florida, for crying out loud. And I will say kudos to Piper to make up her bad behavior by doing extra credit by taking summer classes. So Henry quits. He takes his bubble gum and blows a bubble, transforming back into himself. He reveals his identity to everyone in the man cave, and he leaves, and he quits his job. So Henry returns home, and his parents, his mom Chris and dad Jake, are upset that Henry isn't graduating from high school. And Henry says, look, it's not a good time. And they had the audacity to go in his room and find out that he's not graduating. Who does that? That's wrong for parents to be snooping in their child's room and to be finding stuff. What's up with that, parents? Jake is so upset. I mean, he's crying his balls out. I mean, geez, oh Pete, man. And he even called Henry a failure. Henry was like, seriously? Wow, that wasn't necessary. You're totally right, Henry. It was not necessarily. So, Jake, you think your son is a failure because it looks like he's not going to be graduating from high school? Really? So he's a failure because he's not going to be graduating from high school. Wow. Who says that to their own child? Henry's not a failure. So Chris wanted to know what Henry has been doing where he's not going to be able to graduate from high school. So he pretty much tells his parents for the first time ever that he's Kid Danger. And they're shocked. They don't say anything, but Chris doesn't believe him as she says that he's nothing but a liar. And Jake goes back to crying once again. And he even calls his son a liar. Okay, Jake, I understand you're upset about your son not possibly graduating, but this is too much. You got your panties all in your bunch, dude. Jeez, oh Pete. Henry was like, wait, what? Why would I be lying? Yeah, Henry, why would you be lying? You're telling the truth. So he tries to tell his mom that he's telling the truth, but Chris at this point is like, just stop it, Henry. Just stop it. I've heard enough. Me and your father are tired of your lies. We had enough of your lies, Henry. Just stop. Dang, Chris, you don't believe your own son? So then all of a sudden, some caveman break into the Hart house, and the parents are screaming, and Henry is being attacked by one of the cavemen. Well, do you believe him now, Chris and Jake? You have to believe him now. Anyways, back at the man cave, Captain Man's about to wipe Bose's memory. Just then, Captain Man walks into a trap and is pulled into the air. And it's the evil villain Drex. And he set up the trap. Then he zaps Schwoz and Bose, and they end up unconscious. And then it was left off to saying, To be continued. Yes, so we will find out what happens this coming Saturday. And it's funny, speaking of to be continued, I remember watching the Will and Grace episode from last Thursday when Grace asks Will, is this the end? And then they noticed at the bottom, they looked down and it said to be continued. It was so funny when Will and Grace were like relieved that it's not over. Will was like, oh, okay, good. And then Grace was like, oh my God, like blinking her eyes like she was relieved. She had her hand on her chest. That was so funny. Never ever in the history of sitcoms have I ever seen anybody pay attention, look down at to be continued, and they were like relieved. That was genius on Will and Grace's part. Anyways, this has been a review on the Henry Danger, the beginning of the end review. What did you think about this episode? All right, that's it. See you later.